Hello, I'm Xander, and I'm not the designer of the all-new LEGO Marvel Sanctum Sanctorum.
While designing this set, me and the fellow designers wanted to transport our builders to another world. That world, of course, was the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We had a few words in mind that we wanted our builders to be thinking or expressing while they were building this set. Things like phenomenal, breathtaking,
Why is so many stickers, man?
marvelous, beautiful.
Eco-friendly, man. Mother. Oh my.
I think we really captured those emotions in this set.
Hello everyone, it's Xander here from Xander's Bricks. Welcome back to another video where today we're taking a look at the all-new LEGO Marvel Sanctum Sanctorum, which comes in at 2,708 pieces, retails for $250 in the United States, and is absolutely jam-packed with 9 awesome minifigures, tons of Easter eggs, and unfortunately littered with stickers. And we'll get all into that throughout this video, so if you're excited, please make sure to leave a like, consider subscribing if you're new around here, and let's jump right into this. Whoa, wait. Before we jump into this video, if you're short on time and you just want to jump to a certain part of this video, you can look at the timestamps right here. You can jump throughout the video, but if you want the best viewing experience, just watch it straight through. All right, let's jump into this. Now, before we get into the actual build of the set, let's take a peek at those minifigures because LEGO has given us quite a unique cast of figures from across the Infinity Saga and Multiverse of Madness. First, let's take a peek at the Infinity Saga minifigures. Now, I pulled aside these 4 figures as our Infinity Saga figures just because I also have some minifigures that I wanted to reference back to those Infinity Saga versions. First off, we have Wong, which obviously has also been in a ton of other projects aside from the Infinity Saga movies, but this figure is very strange in the fact that it looks vastly different from the past Infinity Saga minifigure, which looks like this. Notice we've lost hair, the torso is completely different, but the face is exactly the same. Personally, I don't think either of these figures are great at all, but it is what it is. And I asked the world of Instagram which one they preferred, and they were about 50-50 split. Next, we have Iron Man, which again, we do have an Infinity Saga version of it. I don't actually own it, but they changed the helmet. The helmet now is this very smooth and flat helmet, as you can see. We'll just get it to focus there. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. I'm kind of upset that there's no arm printing, especially for a $250 set. And I'm still a little bit unsure whether or not I like the helmet more in this version or in the past version. Instagram, again, was also pretty 50-50 split on that. Then we also have Spider-Man, which I think is a good inclusion just because we also had a movie basically revolving around him and Doctor Strange. So it's really cool to get him. I love all the printing on this figure. Definitely one of the best Spider-Man I think we've ever gotten. I'm not sure if this is the first time we've seen this Spider-Man, but it's definitely a good inclusion. Now, the only thing I wish that they did with this Spider-Man was include that box that we saw throughout No Way Home. It would have been a nice little callback and an addition to those Easter eggs in this film. But this figure is good by itself. Then finally, we have Ebony Maw, which is a strange pick for this set. I mean, obviously, there are a ton of other characters you could have included from the Infinity Saga. Of course, this was one of them that actually attacked the Sanctum. I think it's strange because we have gotten this figure in the past as well. And again, it looks vastly different. Personally, I think that the right figure here, the original one, looks quite a bit better. I think the head actually looks better on the new one, but the torso altogether looks better on this older fig. And Instagram pretty much agreed with me on that as well, which I'm not too surprised. But the point I'm trying to make here is it looks like LEGO kind of let themselves down, especially on those Infinity Saga figures. But now let's take a peek at those Multiverse of Madness ones. Next, we have the Multiverse of Madness cast of figures, which is an interesting selection again, but I quite like this more than the Infinity Saga ones. First, we have Doctor Strange, which is an obvious pick. You could have put it in the Infinity Saga or in the Multiverse of Madness crew. The only thing I wish they had were these little portals or whatever you actually call these, the spells of some sort. I wish they would have included at least 2 of those in this set, but I guess that's all right. Other than that, the figure is great as per usual. Not sure there's anything different or too vastly different from past figs. We also have Dead Strange, which has 1 face print and looks just phenomenal. I love all that printing on the torso and legs. The face looks phenomenal and things like that. Great fig altogether. Then we have Sinister Strange, which is quite simple but gets the job done. He also has a second expression without the third eye. Just a great fig altogether. Really happy with how this one turned out. But then we have the disappointment beginning, which includes Wanda Maximoff with just black legs. This is a big downgrade from past Wandas we've gotten. I'll throw a picture up on the screen real quick so you can get a side-by-side of what the other ones looked like. Again, they haven't really nailed Wanda ever before, but this is just a big disappointment, especially in a $250 set. We get a simple second face expression, but I just wish they would finally nail Wanda. And I hope that if we see her in future films ever, that they do get it better, just like with Wong. Then we also have Mordo, which is a strange inclusion for this set, but I guess I kind of understand. I wish we would have gotten maybe the Sorcerer Supreme or something instead, but I guess this is a good pick. I just love the colors on this. The nice green really goes well with the actual building, which is quite cool. But now that we're done with the minifigures, let's jump into the actual build. Now, the build itself, there's nothing too crazy about it. It's a pretty standard 3-tier modular building, but they also include a mid-level in the first floor, which we'll get to in just a minute here. But as you can see, the color scheme is pretty simple. We have this sand green, this tan here, and then this gray. Now, something disappointing about this is they didn't use the ingot piece for the siding like they did in past Sanctum Sanctorums, which I'll throw up on the screen real quick so you can see, but they just used tiles, which I think is pretty disappointing, especially again, $250 price range, and you're not giving us that level of detail. On top of this, we have some awesome build techniques, including these trees here and things like that. Looks awesome, and they use cool build techniques throughout it. I especially love the roof, which we'll get to in a minute, but there are some interesting things that we can see throughout the build. Like, first off, we have this portal opening to this beast here, which is really interesting. Of course, you won't be able to see it because you have to put it inside the build, which, as you can see, you can just pull the wall out, rotate it inside, and boom, now the monster is hidden inside, and you can connect this to your city. Then we also have 2 more walls like that, including this Captain America museum wall, which comes straight out, and again, you could turn it inside if you wanted to. And then we also have a actual portal, which I think is awesome, and I wish we would have gotten another one of, just so that we could have maybe 2 portals, one here and one there, or something along those lines. But this one gives you access to the back area, which we'll get to in just a minute. Now, something I wanted to note while we're out here is this alleyway right here. This alleyway is a really strange thing. They gave us 6 studs of alleyway, which we've never seen in any modular. I'll throw up some pictures of my own modulars and some off the internet, so you can just see that there's really no alleyway like this in corners before, and I'm not exactly sure why they did this. Some claim it's to work better with the Daily Bugle. Personally, I just think they didn't want to expand the building, which really pays a toll on the inside of the actual set. You can see some lack of detail when we get to it, but it's just really disappointing to see that they used so much space just to give us a slight alleyway. It's really disappointing to me, and I wish we would have gotten maybe even 2 or 3 more studs. Now let's take a peek on the inside. Now, the interior is pretty simple, but as you can see right away, the main floor is pretty cramped due to the 6 studs being used in the back here. You can see that the staircase is almost instantly, which is definitely not how it is in the movies. The fireplace is incredibly tiny. In fact, you can barely see it in this shot here. And also, the whole set is littered with a bunch of stickers. You can see stickers. There's stickers everywhere, and it's just absurd. There's also stickers on the front door, which I wanted to note. They didn't give us prints for that, which is incredibly disappointing and quite lazy, if you ask me. But the main thing about this first floor is this mid-level, which I was talking about. As you can see, you can pull this whole section out to gain access to the back section here, which just has some shelves, a fridge, and then we also have access to the Darkhold and the Time Stone, along with some other things, which we can just see right here. Quite a bit of detail, but again, all stickered details, which is incredibly disappointing, and I wish they would have just printed some of these things because, I mean, those are important pieces of the movie, and if you mess it up, that's really disappointing. Now, the second floor probably has to be my favorite floor. It's just so open, so cool, really love how it turned out. Of course, having this monster in here looks sick, and you won't be able to see it most of the time, but that just looks wonderful. Now, something interesting about this is this door right here, which you're gonna see right here. If you open it up, you can see that there is a little bit of a space print there. Now, I can actually push these air conditioning units in the back to reveal different areas across the world, which I think is pretty lazily done. As you can see, you can only see part of that desert there. If they had printed it halfway across that wall, you would have been able to see it fully. Now, along with this also takes a toll in the back, as you'll be able to see right here. There's just some big gaps for these air conditioning units to slide, which I think looks really lazy and really dumb in my personal opinion. But this whole second floor is just jam-packed with awesome little Easter eggs and things like that, and it just looks incredible. And last but certainly not least is the main floor, which as you can see is the relic room, which is such an important room in the movies, and it's just super cool to see. Unfortunately, it is quite a bit empty, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Some cool little relics and things like that, maybe even some Easter eggs. If you are a Marvel fan, you can check those out. But along with that, you also get this amazing window, which I think personally looks better than the past Sanctum Sanctorum. The window just looks spectacular. Unfortunately, it does take a toll on the inside. As you can see, there's no staircase on the way up, and you can actually see how it's held on right there. So it is quite a bit disappointing, but this is of course not the end of the build. So let's take a look at the roof. Now the roof is actually probably one of my favorite parts. It's so detailed. I love all the appliances and things like that. Just all the industrial looking things look incredible, and it's just got so much more detail than past modulars. Okay, so now you're probably sitting there thinking, well, Xander, what was with all the swearing at the beginning of the episode? You clearly love this build. And you would be right. This set is incredible, and I do really love it, and I love the whole build process. I actually built it in one day, and I had a blast doing so. Put on some Marvel movies, and I just had so much fun. But unfortunately, there are quite a few things I'm not a huge fan of. And first off, that's the stickers. I saved these sticker sheets just for this video. There is over 45 different stickers in this set, and that's just an absurd amount of stickers, especially in a $250 set. Especially with how little printed pieces there were. I wish they would have just put some more printed things into there and less stickers. It would have just been so helpful. Now, there are a few other things I really despised. Of course, those air conditioning units in the back take away from the back of the build, which you won't see, of course, but it is disappointing. I'm also disappointed with that alleyway. I wish they would have given us maybe 2 or 3 more studs just to add more detail, especially to that main floor. I'm also not a huge fan of this playability feature, or whatever they want to call it, where you can remove the walls. I wish they would have just given us more details and less of this fun element. And finally, it's the minifigures. The minifigures really aren't doing it for me in this set. There are some great ones in this set, but there's also some really poor ones in this set. Wanda, Wong, and Ebony Maw could have just been so much better, and I wish they really would have. Just some lack of printing and just laziness really disappointed me in this set. But overall, I would definitely recommend this set to any Marvel fanatic. This is a great addition to your collection, and definitely something I would love to build again even. But that's all I've got for today, guys. Please make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing if you're new around here. Comment down below what you think about this. Are you gonna get it? Do you already have it? And what did you think about it? For now, this is Xander saying over and out, guys.